Okay. Hey, y'all. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the best podcast in the land, in the universe, in existence, period. That is Let's Talk Sis, a podcast created for Black women, okay? For us to tell our stories authentically and unapologetically. I'm Shekinah, and I am joined by my real life cousin, Sierra. How you doing, girl?
Hey, I am doing great today. The sun is starting to shine. It's starting to get warm where I am. I'm pretty sure it's probably been warm where you are.
Not
Oh,
really. Not
oh,
really.
okay.
A
I
little
was
chilly.
wrong. Oh, okay. Well, Michigan is chilly.
Y'all got me.
Um, so the weather is starting to get a little bit better. So I'm good. I'm good. And as always, we need to make sure that you guys are liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have not already, subscribe. Make sure you are telling people so they can come listen too. You guys can have conversations with us. You guys can have conversations on your own about what we talk about, however you want to do it. So just make sure you guys are staying connected with us, okay?
Indeed. Everything she said times two. Period. So, y'all know how we kick this off. We're going to get started with our very first segment. That is ranting or raving. We know everybody need a chance to just get it off their chest, say something that they're feeling passionate about, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. So, Sierra, you ranting or you raving?
Today I'm going to rave, okay? So this has nothing to do with me personally. However, it has something to do with us Black women, okay?
Period.
So South Carolina just beat Iowa in the national championship. I had to make sure I got it right. The national championship. Yes. And Miss Dawn Staley, the head coach, won. Obviously her team won, but this is I think she's like the fifth one that has won multiple tournaments or something. But it's just a powerful thing for Black women to see that we can make moves in big industries as well. So it was just nice to see.
What's
So
so
yeah,
hard about it? If a man can do it, I can do it. Like,
period.
hello. That's awesome. Congratulations to that team, anybody rooting for them. And sorry to anybody who doubted them because
Okay.
you should have bet on Black, period.
Period. Always. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna rant or are you gonna rave today?
I'm ranting today, okay?
Okay.
Because, listen, this is why this episode's going to be short, okay? Because
Mm-hmm.
as a Black woman, okay, we got things we got to do. We always got a million things on our plate. And I got to do something to my hair. Sierra got to do something to her hair. Okay. Why can't I just wake up and it just be
They
everything
can
I
go.
want it to be? Right now, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cute today. My curls are kind of giving, but what y'all can't see, and what I'm not gonna allow you to see, is the flakes that's in my head right now because the Eco Styler gel mixed with the cream mixed with the oil or something. It's something in the formulas that's causing it to flake up. And now I have to be a chemist and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
What I can mix, what I can't, what brand with who, and how. Oh, and I'm also out of salad gel. And guess what I'm not finna do?
Go get it.
I'm not finna go get none.
Mm-mm.
Bet you I won't. So not tonight.
Not tonight.
Just thought about it as I'm talking. So that's over. So now also I have to be a hairstylist and figure out what I have to do. And I talked about last week how I did my own nails. Like this whole DIY is just
It's a lot. As us natural Black women or Black women in general, but especially us natural Black women, the amount of time that it takes just to do a simple hairstyle, like you got to prep it at night, then you got to get up in the morning and untwist it and put the products in and then shape it, and then the next night you got to put it back in the twist so you can.
yeah.
It's a lot. It's a
It's too
lot.
much. I was on a mission to like love my hair and love wearing it every day because, for years, actually, years and years and years, it's been in wigs. And
Mm.
it's, it wasn't like, it was really because I cut my hair. I ain't had no hair to like love. And so now, I got a little hair on my head. The shrinkage is real, but like, I can't. So anyway, that's just my rant. That's just my rant. I'm grateful. Don't take my hair, Lord. But
Please, please take my hand. My edge is nothing, Lord.
nothing. I don't snatch the edges, child,
Any
because they're
long.
full. Amen.
Period.
But that's just my rant for this week. So Y'all make sure to sound off on what y'all ranting or raving on in the comments, and see what we'll tell you how we feel. Y'all tell us how y'all feel.
Yes, we want
Okay.
to know.
So this next topic, and also why it's gonna be a short episode, it's pretty heavy. It's pretty interesting, and that's just the best thing I can say to it. So, give the people your title and your credentials before I mess it up.
Okay. So I am a limited license master social work. So LLMSW. So I have my master's degree in social work. I'm working on my full licensure, which I should have in the next couple of years because I gotta jump through some hoops first.
You
know how they do.
Okay, so we're gonna have Sierra speak to this, just from her professional standpoint, and basically, if somebody walks into her office, one of her students, one of her clients, whatever, walks into her office with this scenario and just kind of hear what she would have to say. Now, trigger warning, potentially for anybody who has been a victim of potential grooming or sexual assault. I will say that. It's nothing graphic, but, just throwing that out there. So,
her dad. My 12-year-old daughter thinks her dad groomed. So, like the title says, my eldest child, who's 12, believes her father groomed me. At first, when she approached me with this, I kind of laughed because at the time I wasn't familiar with the term, and from what I knew about it, I thought maybe she was the one confused on it. But now she has become very distant from her father and acts weird in front of him. She's always been a daddy's girl, so this is breaking his heart. Anyways, a few days ago, she approached me for the third time about this grooming thing, and I finally sat her down and asked her what she thought grooming was. I listened to her explanation of it, and then I looked up the textbook definition to compare notes, and she was almost spot on. At first, I believed maybe she learned this from the kids at her school because they often pick on her for being biracial, and maybe they got tired of that and decided to find something new to pick on her about. But this was shortly proven to be a false theory after she told me she learned about it from the Devil app itself, Talk Tick. She said she did the math, and it seemed like our ages when we met in 2007 that he groomed me. I was quite taken aback, and I had to explain to her that when I met her dad, he was 35 and I was 20. We were both legal adults. Her father is my first love and my first husband. I'm his second wife and the only woman he has kids with. Though even after I explained, she's still acting weird towards her father. My two other children, that are 9 and 4, have also started to notice her weird behavior, and I'm worried that soon they will start to ask why she's acting like that. So what do you recommend I do? This is causing a problem in our family, and I just don't know what to do. For extra info, my husband's ex-wife is the same age as him, just 2 months younger. They ended their marriage due to infidelity on her end, which led to her getting pregnant. I've considered family therapy so that she can talk her concerns out with a professional. On the other side of this, I don't understand why she's suddenly so interested in this. I know she's right at the age of physical and social development, so there's a lot of stuff going on for her, but I don't understand how some random video on the internet led her to the conclusion that my husband groomed me. I've asked to see the video that started all of this in the first place, but she said she can no longer find it. Like I said, when we met, I was 20 and he was 35, and he's always been a great father and husband. I'm now 35 and he's 50, so I can't help. My 12-year-old daughter thinks her dad groomed me. So, like,
Okay, so that was a lot. But basically, in short, like she said, her 12-year-old daughter thinks that her father groomed her mother when they were initially dating or got together, right? And so before you give your opinion, I just wanted to point out a couple things about looking in the comments. There are a lot of people who were like, yeah, no, this was me too. My husband was this and I was that. My husband was, 37 and I was 21, or he was 56 and I was 28, or whatever their differences in age are. So this is not an uncommon thing, apparently, for these 80s babies. Okay. So, yeah, because it ain't me. But my question, or first off, is what is your initial kind of like response or thoughts or whatever as you hear all of that?
Oh my goodness. So when I first heard this, I agree with the daughter. I do think so. I looked at the definition of grooming so that I could be on point with it. And the only thing, and here's where,
What is the definition?
yes, so it says grooming is when someone builds a relationship, trust, or emotional connection with a child or young person so they can manipulate, exploit, or abuse them. Another one, yeah. Or it says grooming is a tactic where someone methodically builds a trusting relationship with a child or young adult, their family, and community to manipulate, coerce, or force the child or young adult to engage in sexual activity. So the only place where I'm like, it may not necessarily be grooming because it wasn't too, from what it seems like, I don't know all of the information, but it doesn't seem like he got into this relationship with trying to manipulate and abuse her. So I don't think, because obviously they've stayed together throughout this time. So I don't think that it was necessarily grooming. Do I think it was inappropriate? Do I think that there's definitely a level of a difference of maturity and difference of influence? I think that there was some probably manipulation within there, but I don't think that's just kind of like it might not even been him trying to manipulate her. That just kind of happens when you have a 15-year age gap, because your mentals they're not here. A 20-year-old is not going to be on the same mental level as a 35-year-old. You are always going to influence them in some kind of way. And so I don't disagree with the daughter. I think the daughter is very valid in her feelings. And I think that the mother she should absolutely move forward with family counseling, because I know me, if that was my father, I know I would look at him differently as well once I put two and two together. Like, because I don't know, I just know that would cause an internal conflict within myself. And I think that she absolutely should move forward with family counseling as well as individual counseling so the daughter can express herself in a healthy way.
And so, okay, so my question is, right, because you brought up a lot of really good points, right? Like, part of the idea of grooming is that there is this manipulative intent behind the relationship, right? I'm getting with you because I know I have some sort of power leverage, whether it's age, whether it's money, whether it's opportunity or whatever, that I can leverage to get you to do what I want you to do. So then it's like, okay, when you have two consenting adults, and granted, 20 is extremely still a young adult. We are both still young adults. When you have two consenting adults, where can you differentiate abuse versus, you also said, influence, right? Well, if you know how to eat the right sushi, and you take me to the best sushi place and you put me on to the best sushi, I'm gonna do that, and if you show me how to, care for you as my partner, and these are the things that you like, and this is what I can expect from you, I'm gonna do that. So, like, how do you reconcile those differences? Like, what would you say is the determining factor between influence and then manipulation?
I think when it's that big of an age gap, there really is no difference. That line is very, very, very thin, because it's the same thing as, think about a 15-year-old with a 1-year-old. I mean, like, not sexually, but I'm just thinking of not sexually. I'm thinking of, like, when you're teaching that 1-year-old how to do something, they're looking at you as if you have the answer. So whether or not that answer is right, because if you, like parents, you can if I'm cussing all the time, my child's probably gonna learn to cuss. But if they're at a, if there's another child whose parent doesn't cuss, they probably won't cuss
Right.
because of what you're teaching them, kind of. So I just feel like it's always gonna be an imbalance. It's
Yeah.
never, because even just thinking about a 20-year-old who's fresh out of high school, I haven't even reached 35 yet.
Mm-hmm.
And to think about the mental growth that I'm gonna have within these next 7 years compared to the last 8.
Right. Right.
That is
You're
just a
not wrong.
huge there's no way that that person is not gonna influence you, whether it's not it doesn't have to be a negative thing,
Yeah.
but they're still they're putting their ways onto you because they're like, and then I just feel like it's very impossible for a 35-year-old to be with a 20-year-old without some type of grooming happening. Like I said, I don't know what their relationship was, but I'm sure he was, you don't have to do that, or
Right.
these type of
There's a
things.
spectrum, right? And I think to answer my own question of influence versus the manipulation, I think it comes down to intent. You know what I mean? What is your intention, right? And if I have the best intentions for you, okay, that's more so an influence, because
Mhm.
in having the best intentions for you, if I take you to this sushi place and I say it's the best thing in the world and you say I don't like it, I have to, and I should still respect that choice. Now, we don't know if she has that sort of agency in her relationship. We don't know if her husband is controlling, or if he is that way. um we only have this video to kind of make a lot of assumptions off of, right? But she didn't bring it up in the videos. But also, do you ever come out and just say, well, my husband is controlling? I don't know. TikTok is a
But
wild place.
she's been with him for the last, I think 20 years at this point.
Very true
So at
indeed.
this point, it's normal to her. She
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't look at it as controlling. She would look at it as, this is how we operate. This is
If they were 30 and 45, would it be the same question? Would it be the same manipulative factors involved? Would we be asking the same grooming questions?
I
Or
don't
is it because
I
she's still without that frontal lobe?
I think it's that. I think it's that, because with a 50 and 65-year-old, who
Right.
cares? They're fully capable of making that. I just feel like you, as a 35-year-old, I just feel like you're kind of stealing the life of a 20-year-old, because they're going to go in the direction that you are kind of leading them in, without allowing. I just find it hard for a 35-year-old to be like, go have your time, your space to do, what you want to do. Because us 20-year-olds, we want to, go out with our friends, we want to party. A 35-year-old is like, well, I just worked this many hours. I'm ready to come
Right.
home.
Right.
That's when that
Right.
influence is like, you may want the best for them to, you shouldn't be out partying all the time. I want you to get this degree, but that's when it comes, well, I could go party and get my degree. Like, even though your
Okay.
intent was good,
Right.
I want you to be home so you can get this degree and study this study. But it's like, no, I want to live my life too. So that's where intent can get tricky as
Can
well.
get very tricky. Yeah. Very tricky.
Like,
Well, she said, huh?
my advice would just to be stay away from it. I don't do the long, the what is it? How am
Age
I
gap.
talking? Yes, the large age gap is it's too sticky, and it leaves a lot of room for controlling, a lot of room for manipulation, a lot of room for abuse, and all these things. And now I've never even realized how it could trickle down into your children. This is not something that I've seen. I've seen, like, from the relationship standpoint, but I've never really realized how it affects the children.
The kids, yeah. When they begin to ask questions and curious. And this generation, so that's something I wrote down. This is and this is the age old, older generation asking about the younger generation. Do they have access to too much information nowadays? And honestly, not really, because Sis was spot on.
Yeah.
Sis clocked the T immediately.
Mhm.
Because let the truth be the truth and the lie be a lie. She said when she got to doing the math and adding up the numbers, uh, this don't make sense.
And my thing is, if as a parent, if she were then to follow in her parents' footsteps, would her parents be like, great, go ahead? Or would they be like, if she
So
at
then let me
20,
ask you this. Okay, if they've been together for 20 years, this woman is now 40, right?
Mhm.
Is there a world that exists where you acknowledge, well, obviously not in her world and not currently because she didn't acknowledge it. She's asking, is this a thing? But is there a world where you can acknowledge, oh, shoot, I was groomed and still stay with the man? Because again, if you did not or if you even if you did were manipulated or influenced,
Mhm.
whatever, right? And you didn't feel that way, like it never felt stifled, you never felt like you couldn't do and go and be,
Yeah.
could you stay with the man? Is that a thing?
Yeah, you
Like
got to
her
do.
world has just been flipped upside down.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what's best for you. So if, like you said, if you didn't feel those things, if y'all are genuinely in love in, those things, I do think that you should, like you said, come to that realization that, ooh, maybe these things did happen, have a conversation, especially with having kids so that they don't, then go, because maybe it was a good situation where y'all genuinely love each other. It wasn't any grooming involved. It wasn't, but the overall, statistics of that, of getting
Sure.
in that relationship, you're
Very
going to
low.
want to prepare your, children for that, or have at least know what it was so that you can prepare your kids for that and have those conversations, even if you do, realize that, yes, this did happen to me, but, I was, or this is how the definition, but it didn't feel that way. He doesn't, that wasn't his intention. That wasn't his, I think they would have to go to counseling together because he would have to understand. Well, I think at 35, his grown butt knows he
Okay.
wasn't messing with no 20-year-old. But
Okay.
so that's just thinking about older people, like what in your mind would want, and that's why I'm like, how is there no grooming involved? What as a 35-year-old would you want with a 20-year-old?
And I try only because we have not gotten any evidence of
Yeah.
abuse, manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
and that is something that you, especially in our space, especially having a platform and a microphone, that you have to be considerate of those who have actually experienced sexual abuse and sexual grooming, to not make light of and semantics of their situation. So
Mm-hmm.
given that, I'm only saying I'm trying to also put myself right in this man's mind, and like maybe she was super mature, I don't know, but like I I don't know. And the only thing that makes sense is, okay, this man ready to have some kids, maybe, and have a family. And there are 20-year-olds who are
Mm-hmm.
really immediately ready to have some kids and a family. And she's young and fertile. And
Mm-hmm.
he is stable and swimming, so it's like
That's a,
the
that's
two
a
become
little,
one.
it's
Huh?
a little, I forgot that he has an ex-wife who's his age.
Right?
And she cheated on him. So then that makes me think, did you go look for someone who was younger so that you could
Throw it in her face.
not throw it in her face, but have that more influence so that this probably wouldn't happen again because I'm getting somebody who I'm
Don't
kind
know
of
nobody
grooming.
but me, basically.
Yeah, they don't know nobody but me. I'm gonna give them the best, I'm getting somebody that I can kind of tell what I couldn't tell that 35-year-old what to do. We're the same age. But
That's
that
possible.
20-year-old, she gon' it's an automatic kind of look. This person knows more than why wouldn't I listen to them? They've been here longer, they're wiser. It's an automatic. So that kind of makes me think like, was he intentional about getting someone younger after his marriage failed?
That is possible. That is possible. Got her as
You
legal
don't
as
have
she
other.
could be.
Yeah.
As legal
Okay.
as she could be, because he barely
Yeah.
scratched the surface of legality with that one.
Yep. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because the heart wants, and again, I'm just assuming my man's is
Mm-hmm.
all it is of the best intentions,
Yeah.
which is slim to none.
Well, she said he was a good husband and good father. So
And that's only because of the video, what we got on the video, right? I can only go with what she said about her man. Okay. Now the statistics show something different.
What? I forgot, and this is a white man.
Yes. Oh yeah, I meant yes. So he's also a white. So I want to say, in that community,
he groomed her. He groomed her.
Yeah. I mean, the 25 20s.
She needs to get that baby and some counseling and them other siblings, because if I remember incorrectly, it says that her siblings are starting to notice the way that she's acting towards her dad, and also her dad is noticing, and I'm sure he's feeling some type of way. So they definitely need family counseling. That's
gonna tear that daddy up. That's tearing up his whole entire plan.
But imagine if I would ask him, so you would be okay, Dad, if I were to bring home what did she say her daughter was, 12?
You have to be careful with that. you got to be careful with that, because there's a daddy that'll be like, then it was your mom getting there and make them babies. Like there's
but I feel like, but that's telling. That would get I feel like for this little girl, she would understand. I feel like from what we've known, she would put that together like red flag, Dad.
Okay. Yeah.
Strike two. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. He's a groomer.
Yeah.
He's a groomer. Take him down to Petco.
Okay.
With the rest of the dogs.
After you do one more funny thing around this house, you're gone, buddy.
Yeah. But but that daughter seems like he ain't tried nothing. It's not pedophilic. Right. Yeah. And so there's also that spectrum. And so then that begs the question that is there any level of grooming that is acceptable, is not, I don't know, like not a bad thing? Because let me say, again, just playing devil's advocate here, just assuming everything's on the up and the up, right? He did divorce his wife, and I do want somebody that ain't talking to me like this crazy. And he got a black woman, so clearly he don't mind a little lip either. So that kind of is like, So I'm ready to have some kids. You ready to have some kids? You looking for a stable income? I got that. My family been rich since the 1800s. Whatever. I don't know. Like, let's get together. What? And hey, oh, you never had sushi? You never had caviar? I have. Let me show you. This is how the people do it. Oh, you want to know how to invest? I've invested. Let me show you. This is how you do it. Oh, you want to go to cosmetology school? She was doing hair on the video, so that's why I say that. I'll pay for you to go to school. Like, what's wrong with that?
But as a 20-year-old, so why would I say no? Now I'm going to do everything in my power.
Why would you say no? But why would you say no?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is where the grooming comes in. You've put this on a silver platter for me.
But I'm also a good guy. I'm the total package. I just happen to be 35 and you're just 20, but I love you and you love me.
I don't know. I just feel like you've put this on a platter, and you're making it so that, like I said, why would I say no? Being,
ain't that how any nigga supposed to step to you? I mean, I'm just saying.
It is, but at the same time, I know I'm not in a position, because if a nigga step to me with anything at this moment, I know I got it myself. You can't step to me with no car, I got a car. You can't step to me with no money, I got money. You can't step to me with no house, I got a house.
Like, that's you to a new lifestyle. That you're traveling on vacation every weekend on somebody's plan. On somebody's plan.
That is true, but that's an influence. That's what I'm saying. You are
And my question is that a bad thing? Where's
when there's
the wrong?
when there's an age gap, absolutely. Because I am not able to get those things myself. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to put myself through cosmetology school, plus do these things, plus do these things. So you're like,
but do you have to do it yourself? Do you have to be able to do it yourself? Do I have to be able to pay for school myself?
You're handing these things to me in exchange for a relationship, and I am a young person. So if an older person came to a child, that's the same thing. Like, it's just the age gaps makes it different. You can't offer all of these things and then think like the same thing like a child.
Okay, but how is a 20-year-old supposed to pay their bill? It's expensive out here. We just talked about this on a couple episodes ago.
So
how
that would
am I
be
supposed to get the money for all of this stuff.
So you would be
my years of life going to work, saving money for the next 10 years. Then I could go to cosmetology school. Then I could start making money as a cosmetologist. 15 years of life.
Yeah. Or you can sleep with this rich white man who is grooming you and is going to give it all to you for free. So that is your choice. That is your choice.
Okay, but what?
I said you have a choice. You can either do it, or you can allow this man to get your goodies for
the rest of my life because he's my husband.
Yeah, now he is. Yeah, it worked out. Yeah, but if you, as an older man, you saying, "Hey, I got you. I got you this, I got this. Of course. I'm young. I don't know no better. I don't know. Why are you not doing that for somebody your own age, sir?
Well, because our eggs are dried up.
So are yours.
Not at 35.
Not at, it's a red. That's
science. They been have babies.
Yeah.
What's his name? Just had one at 80-something years old, Robert De Niro. Anywho, I'm really just talking because I'm trying to also see, is that the city girl life, or was she groomed, or does that come with it? And it's all
I think anybody who looks back, I feel like if you would ask anybody who's looked back at relationships that they've been in when they were younger and the person was older, obviously maybe not, because these people are married, so maybe not in their situation, but 9 times out of 10 they're going to tell you there was some type of imbalance.
And this is, I think, maybe what I wanted to really get at, though, is that is probably true. But I think when we start talking about grooming, we just have to be really careful because oftentimes that road is far more explicit and far more violent than maybe a power imbalance in a relationship, or then maybe, this older man offering you a lifestyle that you can't. And that is all like, because again, girl, get the bag, get to the money. You know what I mean? And it's just because you're older than me does not mean you're smarter than me. It does not mean I'm not coming into this with a strategy. It's probable, and it's more than likely the case, right? You are probably going to tell me I can't go out here and I can't wear that there. But also, there are women who are smart and calculated enough to know that's fine. I'll take that L for the deposits you making in my account and the way I'm able to move and invest in other ways. And that's your choice. That is your prerogative.
You have
what you can choice. Do as a woman, right? Mm-hmm. But when we start talking about grooming, and I'm not a professional here, but I just think, too, there's also that road, which I think we eliminate the power and willpower that in the choice that sometimes us young women do make to enter into a certain lifestyle. So
absolutely. Yeah, I think definitely with that grooming is that piece of with intent to manipulate or abuse, or that. So definitely I think you can definitely have a an age gap without it being grooming. I think once those age gaps starting to widen, especially into the minor age, I feel like the minor is when it becomes grooming.
No question.
No. So
yeah. Well, no diddy around here. Okay. Listen, we gotta go. We got things to do. Like I said, I gotta do my hair. She gotta do her hair. I gotta wash my hair. We gotta get life together for working away. I hope y'all got something to enjoy this. Tell us what y'all think. Like, no, we really want to know because she asked what to do, and all the comments are like, "Oh, girl, this was me," or "Oh, girl, your daughter was right," or this, that, and the third. But nobody was really telling sis what to do. So tell us what y'all think. What should she do? It's tough. It's a very sticky situation. But we would love to hear from y'all. And if you didn't get something, you probably weren't listening. So, Sierra, anything that people need to know?
Don't be out here grooming folks. Okay, stay away from the groomers. Look up stuff, talk to people, get some opinions so that other people can lead you in the right direction, and so that you're not out here being led in the wrong direction from the wrong grown. And oh wait, let me tell you this. I mean, real quick, because I ended up one time I was at a gas station and these little boys came up to me and asked me for a ride to football practice. It was around the corner, and I'm like, you don't just ask no random person for no ride. And they're like, well, you a woman, so we thought it would be okay. So I just need to let everybody know that women can be groomers and predators too. It is not just men. Women can be groomers, predators, pedophiles, all of the things. So men and women, be on the lookout. So that's just a little tidbit.
Amen, sister. Well, we love y'all. Mwah. Thank y'all. We will see y'all again next week. Bye.
Bye.